guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Christina, but just Chrissy will do. Today I'm going to give you guys tips on when you're expecting your second child, as in like transitioning from 1 to 2, or in my case transitioning to 3. If you guys didn't know, I am a mother of 3. I have a 7-year-old boy and I have 1-year-old twins that are a boy and a girl. I know, lucky, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get straight into the tips. The first one I would say is try to treat your older child or your firstborn as an older, like a big kid, if that makes sense, depending on age. So with me, my son was 6 at the time when I gave birth. So throughout that time, well, a 6-year-old is quite old anyway. So lucky for me, I did have a decent gap. But I know some people don't have as big as a gap that I had. So try to treat your firstborn as a big kid, basically, as in like if they sleep with you. I know some parents still sleep with their children, so if they sleep with you, maybe getting them into a big boy bed or big girl bed or something like that, getting them into their own space. I would say help them to become a little bit more independent so they're not needy and wanting you as much. I know you still have to be there for them and do stuff for them, as I do for my son, but for him to be a little more independent so that when the new baby comes, it won't be too much for you, as obviously you need to look after the new baby as well. Not like you just scoot the old child to the side, but if they're a little bit more independent, then it will definitely help you. Another thing is get your firstborn involved with the whole baby, the whole pregnancy and everything. So maybe like before, maybe they could help with like naming, like they can give their suggestions. I know you don't have to take their suggestions, but it's nice that they can get involved and be able to be there for their new brother or sister. So when I was pregnant and I let Lorel know that I was pregnant, he was happy. He did try to give us names. He did say we should name them Sophie and Jake. Yeah, clearly that didn't happen. So another thing I would say, get them involved with like the doctor appointments. Like you can show them like the scan pictures and just let them know, yeah, I'm going to the hospital today, they're doing this. Or because he was old enough, he understood, so I could actually speak to him and tell him what is actually going on. And he was into it as well. It's like, oh, so what happened at the hospital today? What did the doctor say? Stuff like that. He was quite into it as well. Another thing I would say as well, after you give birth, maybe getting them involved, like maybe they could come to the hospital, maybe they could see you, see the baby, so that they're involved as well. It's not like, okay, here is your brother or sister or something like that. With me, it was different because the twins were born premature, so they were born early, and they had to stay in hospital for 3 weeks in the special baby care unit. So for that reason, they were born in December, so the hospital says that's flu season, so anyone under 16 was not actually allowed to come into that part of the hospital where like the prem babies or really ill babies were. They were not allowed to come in there, as they could bring in like children that are easy to bring in like bacteria or any nasties basically. So in there it was like, really, you have to be clean, you have to do all of that. Like as soon as we come in the door, you wash your hands, then you go into the room, you wash your hands again, you use anti-bac, and if you like, they always say if you don't really need to touch them, then try not to, but they always encourage you to make sure that your hands are clean, so you don't bring anything from outside in. So for that reason, he wasn't able to see them. But what we did do, we did take pictures and videos and bring them to him, and he really enjoyed that. But because of he didn't understand that we've had them. He just thought, okay, so why they're not at home? And it's like they've come early. And he was thinking, but how are they going to know that I'm their big brother? And it's like, don't worry, we'll tell them. So we'll do videos, we'll say, hi, Lorel. And that will actually make him feel like, oh, wow, like, they want to see me. But yeah, we did things like that for him. And another thing is obviously when you get home, so after we got home, so what you could do, another thing is when you get home, you can get them to help you, as in maybe with like nappy changes. You could say like, can you pass me a nappy please, or can I have the wipes, do you want to help me, or stuff like that, or even like bedtime reading, stuff like that, because Laurel, like, because he's in primary school, he gets books every day, so he does like to read to them more now than they were babies, but you can still get them involved by reading to them. But I know that's only like older children. I know not a lot of people have like a gap that I had. Some people have a smaller gap, like if your child's 2, but I believe there's still ways that you can get them involved, as in once a child is able to talk or walk or something like that, you can say still get a nappy, or just get them involved so that they feel like, oh, I think children feel territorial, like, okay, so you come to my house taking my mum and dad and letting them do things for you, and they forgot about me. So you have to kind of do it as in, you're both the same, we're looking after both of you, love each other. Like, that's what I've told Laurel. Like, I've stressed it so much, like, this is your brother and sister, you guys are a team, you guys are one, basically. Sorry if you see me looking down, I've written notes on my phone, so I know I'd forget. Another thing is, I would say, is spend as much time as possible with your firstborn, because I believe that you can't get that time back, and it's nice as memories for that child to be able to think and say, oh, like me and my mum and dad, we had fun before obviously my brother came, or my sister, or in Laurel's case, his brother and sister came. So we did try to do a lot of stuff with him, which was nice, because as well as that, it's like, as parents, we're transitioning to, it's not just the child going from, oh gosh, now there's someone else in the house with me. It's like us, it's like, okay, now we don't have one child, we have to spread our love between 2 children or 3 children. So that becomes different. I would say, like, spend as much time as possible with your firstborn, so you guys, it's nice to have that bond and be able to bring it on and then share it with all three of your children, or even 2. I can't really think of any more tips. Oh, one more thing I would say, which is the biggest thing ever when transitioning, I would say, is routine. Get into routine, make a routine. That is the only thing. A lot of people ask me, how do you do it? At Laurel's school, they say, oh wow, I can't believe you're able to. Routine. As soon as they came from hospital, it was hard for me, because, you know, once you have your baby, you can come home and basically get into a routine straight away. I had to wait for 3 weeks until they were able to come out of the hospital, but as soon as they came out of the hospital, I got myself into a routine. Obviously I had to, because me being on maternity, Dad was going to go back to work. He obviously had his leave from work, and then he's back to work. I had to get myself into a routine, as I have to bring Laurel to school and stuff like that. You have to get into a routine. So once they came out, found out what time they sleep, when they wake up, how often they need to eat, stuff like that. As well as getting into a routine, now there's a routine you have to work with your older child. So he has to be at school a certain time. You can't just wake up and think, all right, yeah, twins are waking up, we'll just get ready whenever. No, you need to make sure you're ready. If you know that they're gonna wake up certain time or around a certain time, you're gonna have to make sure you're up, make sure the milk's ready, or that you're ready to breastfeed, or stuff like that. And then you need to be out the house by a certain time. Routine, can't stress it enough. It's helped me so much, even up to now, when I tell people that they go to sleep 6 and they wake up the next morning ready for us to bring Laurel to school. People are like, how did you do that? Because I got them into a routine. They have their dinner, they're ready to go to bed, stuff like that. You just get into a routine. It helps you. Plus, you're not just doing around the clock. It's so hard to just be a mum 24 hours. No, once they go to bed, then we have a bit of time, we get to eat and stuff, Laurel goes to bed, then me and dad get to chill. I'm telling you, a lot of people do not get to do that. What were you before you was a mum? Was you not you? Continue. You need to chill out, you need to relax. It's not about washing bottles and bathing babies. No, they need to go to bed and you need to chill, or even have your time. When you have a newborn, even if they go bed a certain time, I know you'll be up in the night. Once they go bed at a certain time, at least you can say, all right, let me relax. Because it's hard, you're going to be tired. Especially if you got a firstborn that's doing other stuff, not just a newborn, you're going to be tired. Maybe you can catch one nap there, or maybe you can swap with dad. Dad can watch the older one, or things like that. Once you get into a routine, it's easier. So I would say try to get yourself into a routine and it will help you out. Thank me later, people. Thank me later. I think that's all the tips that I've got, to be honest. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I literally thought of this and I thought, you know what, this will actually help. I know a lot of people that's got one child, and some are transitioning going into 2, or when some people are going into 2, they did ask me like, how did you do this, or for advice. So here's some tips. I can't think of any more, but if you have any more tips, as in if you're transitioning to 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, I think the transition from 1 to 2 and then there onwards is the same. So when you're moving from 2 to 3 or even 5 to 6, I think it's easier. It's just there's more children, but you will already have that routine, if that makes sense. So it will always be easier. As in now, if I was to have another child, I think it will be way easier because I've already done that transition from 1 to 2. So yeah, if you have any tips, please comment down below. You could be helping someone out, or it's good to share our tips. Why not? Why keep it to ourselves? Hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe. I have so much more videos coming. Let me know how your day's going. Mine is going great. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in England and the sun today, big ups to the sun, because I didn't think we was gonna be having no summer, but summer is looking like it's gonna be a lit. It looks like it's coming, and yeah, summer might be good. I need to start jogging because gotta get my summer body. Ooh. Yeah, summer looks like it's gonna be real nice over here. When the sun is out, oh gosh, it just makes everything so much better. But yeah guys, enough ramblings from me. As I said, I hope this was helpful, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.